Hello, my friends, and welcome back to New Dalancia, our Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. After making their way past the undead, the friends approached the magically sealed door. Tess affixed each of the pendants to the appropriate slots, and the door vanished. Inside the room beyond it, a mysterious mirror from which a Kenku emerged. Through this stranger, the party learned of the Lady in the Mirror and how to enter the realm beyond the looking glass. However, a voice from within Tess's mind encouraged them to open and enter a portal in the Temple of Dentherum. The Kenku returned to the mirror, and the party started off toward the temple. After each making a blood sacrifice over the altar, a portal did open, and the friends stepped through and found themselves in the cavernous bowels of hell. Before them, several sinister-looking devils. All right, hopefully this track actually works out. Looking good on that. All right. So you guys emerge through the portal, and before you there are several creatures whose eyes immediately lock on yours. The portal closes behind you, much to your dismay, leaving you with a final sort of sensation of being stuck here. So these demons kind of, or these creatures, they sort of start to move closer, inching their way toward you. Their eyes sort of tightening. They seem curious about you more than anything, but they don't appear um, to be taking a hostile posture yet. Anyway, is everyone here?
Yep.
I don't like the look of these.
Where are we?
Hmm. Well, given our surroundings, we are either on the interior of some mountain or someplace much more sinister.
The portal seems to have brought us someplace fun. Tess is going to look at the big demon, and she's going to smile and wave.
Shh. So this demon kind of scoots closer. The others dragging, laying back a bit. I guess mostly curious about why you're here, and one scoots forward, eyeing you. No one's used this gateway in many centuries. Who are you, and how have you brought all of these slaves with you?
Tess shrugs her shoulders and steps forward. She says, Tess was drawn to this portal. We came through to find answers from somebody.
Wait. Why are your slaves armed?
Tess turns to everybody, and she motions for them to just kind of drop or hide their weapons.
I'll tuck my bow back to look non-menacing as possible.
Val just sort of affixes his hands in front of him.
Cyrene is just hiding. Just hiding.
Tess turns back to the demon, and she says, points to herself and says, Tess has control of the situation. You don't have to worry.
Go ahead and roll a deception check.
Oof.
Yeesh.
Okay, we're getting some word. Psychon, can you use the chat in the in roll 20? Are you able to do that?
Couldn't have been a persuasion check.
What are you trying to persuade them of?
But I had control of the situation. Fine.
Okay, I'll let you roll a persuasion check for that. 12, okay. Versus, let's see.
Hang on a sec before you do the adding on there. I'm going to use my bend luck skill. It allows me to add a D4 to any creature's check or attack ability. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to use that and roll a D4 for her ability, and that gets added before you do the maths up.
Nice.
Okay, one moment. So just roll a 1d4.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a 2. That's a 14. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll a... Whoo! Ouch. Okay. So, so this devil scoots in closer to you still. His eyes somehow tightening even further. These are not your slaves. Who are you? And how have you come through this portal?
Still smiling, Tess shrugs her shoulders and she says, Tess never said they were slaves. You assumed they were slaves.
Then why have you come through the portal?
Tess heard voice in her head said, Come through portal, find answers that I seek. You have answers that Tess seeks?
Intriguing. He turns around toward the others. We will take you to the master. You will come with us. He will decide your fate.
This makes me uncomfortable. I will
You
follow.
guys can talk among yourselves if you'd like to kind of discuss what you're about to do. So will you guys follow the
I don't know the
follow
layout.
these demons? You want to from what you can
Not
see,
knowing the terrain.
well, from what you can see around you and far off into the distance, this is mostly what appears to be just a giant wasteland. Do you have any skill in religion?
No.
Okay.
I do.
Still, go ahead and roll a check on it. Both of you. Okay. That'll pass. Okay. I'll give you an automatic pass test because you actually have the proficiency in it. So this would be something that probably a little more basic that you've heard of, but this is sort of the first plane of hell. This is where a giant war is constantly taking place between demons and devils. So because of that, most everything is barren wasteland or, current battlefield. And it kind of stretches on as far as the eyes can see, but there are, it's mostly just landscape as far as you can see for right now. Actually, some ways off to the east of where you're standing, let's say the southeast of where you're standing, there seems to be a sort of city. It looks like it's mostly ruin. You don't see anything like, no fires lit or anything like that. There's a road that goes beyond it into sort of a thick, sort of black fog that kind of spans outward, obscuring your view of everything else in this area.
Tess describes everything that she knows to everyone, as far as about where she thinks they're located. Yeah, she's gonna follow the demon.
Okay. You will come with us into the city. Try to stay close. So they take you into their custody. He sort of gestures to the other three. Take their weapons. Do you guys hand over your weapons?
Can I try and deceive to hand over some, but not all of my weapons?
Sure.
I'd like to give my bow and try and see if I can hide my short swords.
Okay. I think you might be able to hide them within. How are you hiding them?
It's a good question. Maybe I just kind of like carefully tuck them into my backpack covertly.
Okay. Let's see. Actually, let's have you roll a. You proficient in stealth?
Yes.
Roll it. That'll do it. Yeah, you're able to stash your short swords away.
All right. Well, I'll hand over my bow.
Phelan takes off all of his weapons and hands them to one of the demons. He sort of grunts. I don't like this.
All Cyrene has is a dagger, but she wants to kind of them to think that, she doesn't have power and that she just might be like a pet, if anything.
So you're trying to convince
if that's
them?
possible. Yeah.
How so? How would you do this?
So little person over closer to Tess if possible, like if she can fly over and just like kind of like sit on her shoulder and just like not say anything, just like act like a pet.
Do you actually have any weapons?
I have a dagger. It's very small.
Like a toothpick.
I know, right? Like, I don't know how deadly it is, but I do have one.
Hmm. You're gonna have to come up with a way to convince them, or hide it.
I just like hide it, just like in my pack.
Do you want to roll a stealth check? See if you can.
Sure. Let's see.
Sycon, considering you have 2 daggers in your sleeves, I'd like you to go ahead and roll a deception check. All right, 20 on a stealth check, that'll pass.
Cool. I'm just a little pet. Don't mind me. I don't say anything.
Using Tides of Chaos. Let me pull up your character sheet real quick. So Tides of Chaos here. Okay, so Tides of Chaos, and we're gonna roll 2 deception checks. That's a 22. That will take. So you do hand over your crossbow, but you're able to you manage to hang on to your daggers. Misku also hands over her weapons. I think that pretty much. What about you, Tess? Do you hand over your weapons?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the 3 smaller devils take all of your gear or your weaponry. They kind of stow them into these various like sacks things. They sort of produce. The lead devil gestures to you. Stay behind me, but where we can see you. So they sort of walk in a formation with the lead devil, and in the very front, the 3 minions just behind him, and then the entire party trailing behind them. They start to lead you down these paths, and but you notice that you're not making your way toward the immediate city. As you look up and through the fog, you see yet another very much larger city kind of spill out onto the land before you. And it looks like this. Might need to zoom that out a bit. So as you're coming down the path, which is the northern path up here, you start to approach the edge of this city. Um, there are some kind of smaller, like battlements that seem to. Well, oh, okay, we lost Sycon. There are some various battlements and um, barricades, things like that, that sort of surround the city, but you don't see any. You don't see many like walls or things like that. There's sort of an inner wall. It's not very tall. Um, that sort of houses the what you assume to be sort of the main district of the city. So as they lead you down this path, the lead devil sort of turns around. We're almost there. I want you all to stay in my sight.
I am uncomfortable.
Oh, you're a charming fellow. Thank you so much for the tour. Tess really appreciates it.
You've let me see. So I'd like you, Ahara, to roll a perception check. Okay.
12.
Okay. Hmm. So you guys continue to follow the demons, or the devils, rather, down the road, and buildings start to kind of fill the obscure your view, kind of filling the streets next to you. At this point, you guys are on the outskirts of the city here. And Tess, from one of the sort of older, well, all of these buildings seem to be very old and kind of run down. They're all made of this very dark stone. It's like a charcoal and a black obsidian stone. The whole place seems to be illuminated by various fires, and um, much further down, everything kind of bowls into this. Um, Essentially, it's like a giant harbor, but it's lava.
Cozy.
Yes, it's very warm here as well. Lots of smoke seems to rise from the city as you are entering it.
I am uncomfortable.
Strangely enough, though, the city itself seems to be as any other city you've ever encountered. There are people kind of going about their daily processes. There's a lot more smoke than you're used to. There are, Tess, you see many tiefling as you walk, and you've never seen so many. In fact, none of you have.
This is
Tiefling
just
are-
in awe, staring at all of them.
Otherwise, you do see many other devils, much like the one that you fought at the beginning of your adventure, with with the beards of blades and things like that. Very,
Gee.
indeed. As you walk from one of the buildings, sort of along to your left, you hear a tiefling.
Tess looks at the general direction of the disembodied voice.
In the shadows of a building. Over here. Come over here.
Why?
Do you want to be taken prisoner? Come over here.
I guess Tess kind of meanders in that direction as quietly as possible.
How are you going to avoid being detected?
So I have this uh, I don't suppose these guys have dark vision, do they?
Good question. They do.
You have dark vision? Okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
they can pretty clearly see you.
Send that. Hold on. I will use my thaumaturgy.
Okay.
Hold on. My thaumaturgy to make it seem like a phantom version of me is like running past them real quick. Like running past them and then turning to the right through an alley.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
Thaumaturgy is what? Cantrip for you?
that's a cantrip. This is like a real quick whoosh past them.
Can I assist her with my minor illusion cantrip to make the sound of running footsteps?
I don't see that she can actually create an image of herself. Where do you see that?
Oh, I don't know. It seems to leave it open for interpretation.
Okay. I think you could use the minor illusion to create an instance of her.
And then I can use thaumaturgy to make footstep sounds.
Yeah, to create all the footstep sounds and even move a even move an object to make it more like you can do things like kick stuff over, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, absolutely. So Psychon, I'm sorry, Ian Fear, you muster up the image for this illusion of Tess running, and you create the sounds and all the other effects, and this image of Tess like brushes by this, this kind of setup and knocks something over, makes it super realistic. All three of them take off, or all four of them actually take off after the fake image of Tess.
So we should be able to tuck away toward where the voice is. So this is just going to tell everyone to follow her real quick. Get our weapons back later. Oh, yeah, they still have our weapons, right?
Yeah, they do still have your weapons.
We'll get our weapons back later.
I'm going to touch Tess on the shoulder and give her some guidance that just gives her an extra d4 to an ability check in the future, up to a minute.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Also follow.
So you guys rush after Tess toward the sound of this voice. As you're running, you see the figure sort of lean into the doorway, and he kind of gestures at you over here.
Okay, so I have my ring of truth telling still, and I'm going to kind of hold on to that and kind of activate its powers to see if this person's actually going to help or not, just to see if
Okay.
I can perceive her intentions.
Okay.
She's going to approach the person and say, you can help us?
So as you guys enter this very dark room, you can see there's at least enough light coming in from the outside, kind of pouring in through these vacant openings that would be windows in this establishment. It just kind of looks like an empty uh, sort of set of rooms, if you will. There's some various objects in there, like there's like some kind of a box. Looks like it's less of any traditional purpose and more of like a sitting apparatus. But the person who has called you in here bears his face. It should show for each of you.
Yeah, it did.
Well, you look like pretty capable lot. And judging by the look of you, I'd say you're new down here. Am I right?
That's right, but you didn't answer Tess's question. Tess asked, "Can you help us?"
That depends if you can help me.
That depends on what you need help with.
Well, I guess to start some food would be nice. I don't know if you lot are hungry, but I sure am.
With my ring of truth telling, can I tell if he's like out to poison us?
Can you link the ring of truth telling?
I don't know if I can.
I'd like to just give sort of a quick description. So this is a tiefling, male.
Won't let me link it.
Okay, I'll take a look. Um, does it have a description on it? Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I think this came from a generator. Give me a second here. It gives you an advantage on wisdom checks to determine whether someone is lying to you. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it just gives you an advantage. Go ahead and roll a wisdom check then. Yeah, wisdom check.
You still have guidance too.
That's true.
Okay, so I have advantage, and then I roll an extra d4
Yep. Plus, well,
plus no.
yeah, roll a d4 as well.
Roll d4.
Roll one
Yeah.
d4. Yeah. Okay. So you roll a 20. No, he doesn't appear to be lying.
Okay.
He doesn't seem to be lying.
Tess isn't opposed to wrestling up some grub. What say everyone else?
I've got some rations I'm willing to share.
They did not take my pack either. Oh, you got Psychon typing. So you notice that this person seems to be wearing sort of ragged clothing. Ian Fear says, not a grub fan myself, but I'll find something.
Do you live here?
I guess you could say that. And again, it appears to me that you lot are new down here. Is that true?
I'd say that.
Well, very well. Why are you here? What is it that you need help with?
Tess heard a voice in head. My friends and I found the portal. We came through.
Oh, so you are from the surface. That explains the Fae and the others. Don't have many mortals down here. Well, no doubt you were on your way to the stronghold.
Thing about seeing a master.
They were probably going to enlist you. That's what they do with most of the people from the surface.
List, is there a war?
Of course. War between the devils and the demons. It's been being waged for centuries. Millennia, even. I don't know how long it goes back.
Sort of a lose-lose.
Well, it's the usual case down here. We haven't been attacked in a few days now.
I've got 5 rations on me. I'll offer him one.
Takes the ration, he kind of just shoves it in his face. Not very eloquent. You have any more? Starving.
I feel like that should be enough for now.
Cheapskate. Anyway. You help me. I suppose I'll help you. Where are you trying to go?
Tess thinks on it really hard, and then she shrugs and she says, Tess isn't quite sure. Plan was to come through portal, and no, nothing.
Why would you ever willingly step through a portal to hell? Seems a little stupid to me.
Tess felt the urge.
To be fair, she hears voices, and we couldn't see the other side.
And you followed her, even though she hears voices.
Sometimes you have to
Great.
overlook some shortcomings in friends.
Tess has good friends.
Oh, you guys are going to be real helpful. Well, okay. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I mean, you did work over the demons. They didn't immediately kill you. And frankly, most people that come through here with the guards usually kicking and screaming and crying and please let me go. It's pretty funny, actually. Worthless, all of them. I'm sure they make excellent thralls. He rolls his eyes.
I promise you we can hold our own.
Well, from the look of you, I'm inclined to agree. That's what I'm hoping, at least. So what's Saigon saying here? Their voices too, mostly outside.
Is there some sort of leader or central place we could head to find if there's some reason we could have been brought here?
I thought you said you... Oh, you mean by the demons, then? Or by the devils, rather, not demons.
Sure.
Well, like I said, anytime people from the surface come down, they're always recruited, enlisted into the armies. Fight for the devils, of course. You really are new down here. Don't read much?
No, not quite. I mean, Tess does read, but not quite used to being down here. Not quite used to my body forcing me to come through a portal and then not knowing where to go next.
Oh, so even you're not... Oh, wow. You're a surface dweller. What's that like?
A lot more green.
That sounds better, I suppose. in some weird way. Sounds foreign.
Not a lot of books about demons and devils in the wilds.
I find that hard to believe. Oh, they're everywhere. Look around.
Perhaps you could come to the surface. Maybe not today.
I guess there's not anything binding me down here, but this is the only life I've ever known. He kind of peeks through the window. After a time, he looks back at you. Keep your heads down. You think they're coming back. Kind of presses up against the wall, looking toward the window. Outside, you kind of hear some angry speaking. Sounds like the demons, or the devils rather, are searching for you.
Oh, they're bamboozled now. Anyone good enough at stealth to try and go get the weapons back?
The tiefling sort of crouches down, and he approaches you. My name's Syken.
Tess says, nice to meet you. I'm Tess.
Tess. That's a human name.
Tess had human mother.
You poor thing.
She looks a little offended. Tess loved her mother.
Because that's your decision to make. Anyway, it's not safe here. I've got another place that we could stow up, but give me a minute to write my partner a letter.
Can I try and sneak out and see if I can obtain weapons back?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of searching around right now, and the three that have your packs of weapons seem to have placed them off to the side and are just standing over them. They seem pretty unintelligent, though. It's possible you could sneak out there and grab them before they're able to notice. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
I'm going to touch myself with guidance,
Easy.
All right.
and I'm going to roll stealth. Stealth.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. No need. That was a crit.
31.
All right.
Fucking more than got our weapons back. You fucking stole their pants too.
You are able to you are able to slip out the door and procure your weaponry.
I'll bring them back and hand them out to everyone
Impressive work.
with a wink.
This is Syken. It's almost enlisted once, but I took a dodge to the draft. What the heck? Well, so you pass out everyone's weapons. You guys get your gear back. We should move on. So Syken has scrawled out this very short letter and folded it up and placed it on top of the box.
Can I read it, or is it some weird language?
You start to approach the letter, and Syken says, "Don't bother. I'm just telling my partner where we'll be."
Partner?
Of course.
Romantic partner? Business partner?
It doesn't matter.
Tell us about yourself, Syken. Tess wants to know.
We don't have time for this.
Tess
Follow
has
me.
time.
At that, he kind of just goes out the door.
I'm going to follow him with a very distrustful eye.
Valphalin follows you, strapping his greatsword back to his back.
Tess follows with her hood up.
Yeah. Val also pulls his hood over his head. How are you guys going to make your way through the streets here without being noticed?
Tess is gonna hide like her bags and her weapons like underneath her cape area, like on her back.
Val's wearing a sort of tattered robe. Cyrene, how about you?
So Cyrene is still like kind of hiding. I have pretty high deception. So I can try to make myself seem, I don't know.
Okay. Ian Fear's
Not
cloak
there,
takes the appearance
or
of being
stealth.
dirty and torn. Yeah.
Yeah, Tess is using her quarterstaff like a walking stick.
Okay.
And she has her hood pulled up, so Cyrene could probably just tuck inside of the hood since Tess has it pulled up. The way they're not seeing the glitter.
Syken says to you, you don't need to hide your face here. You're tiefling.
Tess just ran away from guards. Tess needs to hide face. You.
Very well.
So yeah, Cyrene's gonna hide like that. It's kind of hard when you're a fairy in this surrounding.
Okay. I'll have you go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. Oh
Okay.
no.
Duly noted. And Ian Fear, go ahead and roll. We're gonna roll a deception with advantage. Okay. And I think that covers everyone. Ahara, what about you? How are you obscuring yourself?
I can throw some traveling clothes over my armor, but I don't have any kind of cloak or anything like that. I mean, I'm an elf. I'll probably be pretty obvious. I will try my best to stay in the shadows, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So you're gonna kind of move through the shadows.
Yeah.
I'll have you roll a stealth check as well.
Sure.
Like Ninja Gaiden trying to run across rooftops and shit.
24.
Okay. Yeah, actually, this was one of the first things you wind up doing is finding a way up to the rooftops. Kind of staying up there.
I'll give Talos a hand and he can kind of stay with me.
Sounds good. So you're like running along the rooftops carrying this doggo?
Whenever I need to. He can run when there's flat surface.
All right. So you guys are walking through town. The streets are actually bustling with activity. And before long, you guys come to a long iron or a metallic bridge over a river of lava. This is about right here. There are a lot of people walking up and down this bridge, and it's probably about, I'm going to go with about 20 feet wide. A pretty wide bridge, lots of people crossing back and forth. But on the other side of the bridge, there seems to be a more let's see. Now, there seems to be a more sort of industrial look about this place. There appear to be a lot of very large buildings, many with these great smokestacks just pillowing off the top of them. If one starts to cross the bridge, Ahara, you've no rooftops to jump to here, and this will be a long stretch out in the open. How will you accomplish this?
I'm gonna tear the corner off of my traveling clothes and try to wear it as sort of a 80s headband to cover my ears so that I look at least humanoid and not so elvish, but try to blend in the crowd.
Okay, go ahead and roll a deception check.
– 19.
All right. So you make your face covering as you've described, and as you walk, there are a few people who sort of eye you, who make eye contact with you, but they immediately sort of look down and go about their business. With your wolf in tow, you're able to cross the bridge, seemingly no problem. Before long, Syken leads you to another building. This one buried deep within a few other buildings, and kind of off on its own. Nice, inconspicuous location. Once again, he leads you into a room that seems to be empty, aside from a box and some other various implements that don't seem to really belong there.
I'm going to sit down right on the box.
Okay, you sit on the box. No doubt they'll be looking for you. We'll need to keep a low profile for a while. But don't worry, I'm good at keeping a low profile.
Where are we headed?
Well, for now, here. And we'll wait for my partner to show up.
Partner.
Yes. Well, if you couldn't tell by my
Business
clothing.
partner.
Yes, my business partner.
Hmm.
Now, we were talking about what you're looking for here. And once we have an idea, maybe I'll tell you what I'm looking for and how you can help with that. And perhaps we can help each other.
I'm gonna look at Tess pointedly, like you're the one looking for something here.
Tess kind of gives like a shy smile and she says, maybe Tess will find what she needs along the way if we help you first.
Interesting. Tess, if I may have a word.
About what?
Were you not told by this disembodied voice what it is you came here for?
As far as Tess can remember, we need to find Big Demon. We'll have the answers that I seek. Tess isn't sure as to which answers to which questions.
Hmm. It seems a very large risk to take. Staying down here with no immediate purpose. But I trust you.
Maybe immediate purpose is to help Syken here.
Interesting. And what compels you to help this fellow?
Goodness of my soul.
Syken, overhearing this, scoffs.
To be honest, Tess does not have direction. Once Tess feels that there is an obvious route, then we'll go that way. But till then, maybe we could help Syken.
Interesting. I will come along. Though I do not trust this Syken fellow. He kind of glares over at him.
And why don't you trust Syken?
He is in it for his own benefit. Huh. That's right.
How can you tell?
I mean, is it not immediately obvious?
Tess just
Syken,
doesn't think that
as you kind of glance over to him, he gets this really wide, kind of feral-looking grin. It's just, no, he's right. I'm in it for me. You have to be in it for you. No point not to.
if you're in it for you, then why do you need help?
Because people help each other. And the more people, the more you're able to accomplish. And, I wouldn't say that I'm only out for me. You all might stand to benefit from it too, like Tess said. You might find what you're looking for just by helping me out. Ian Fear says, I trust few people, but their actions so far make him useful. Now, let's talk about how you can help us.
I'm all pointy.
What's that?
I'm all pointy ears.
So he, after all, I did help you all escape from the devils, who would have no doubt enlisted you in the armies,
Ish.
tortured you. What ish?
You gave us a way out, but we escaped them ourselves.
Oh, I suppose that's fair. Now, back to business. Well, for starters, let me think on it.
I have to feed the dog. I'll be right back.
Let's focus on a more immediate task.
Such as?
We'll call this a we'll call this setup, if you will.
Like a side quest.
Well, there are 6 of us here.
What do you need?
Food. Water. All of which could be procured from the city. But I doubt you have any currency that could be useful down here. So what I propose is, acquiring said goods through other means. He
I am unconscious.
smiles. Oh, come now. You're of a good-natured person, I'm sure. Am I right?
I find balance in nature. I don't strive for good nor evil. I strive for the good of the
Ah.
land, not the good of the people.
Well, even better then. Wouldn't stealing from hell benefit the balance of nature?
Stealing from hell to give to hell.
Well, to give to yourselves, of course. You need to eat too.
Fair.
Ah, then we're in agreement.
Tess is always one to trust. I think she needs to fulfill her desire to feel humanity. I am behind her in this.
As you look over, Tess is kind of like fiddling with a thing. not really paying attention.
I am happy to oblige.
Very well then.
So long as we have a, shall we say, quid quo pro.
Go on.
We help you, you help us.
Naturally. That's the order of things.
Tell us what we should do.
Well, there are plenty of shops in the commercial district. I would say find one, case the establishment, and make off with enough food to last a few weeks. Once we have that, then we can move on to the next stage of our plan. Which I'll gladly share with you, but only once my partner has made it back. Should be here by tomorrow morning.
The end justifies the means, yes?
You think as I do.
As much as I strive towards good in spite of the law, I have a little trouble dealing with you. And I think I could find a common ground if you could help us.
Then help you I will. Once our task is complete, of course.
Of course.
Very well then.
Show us the way.
Well, he proceeds to one of the other rooms momentarily. You hear him sort of digging through various papers and other things. Sounds like a very messy room, and comes back with a large roll of parchment paper. Then he proceeds back to the room after he sets that on the floor and comes back with a large crate or box and sets it out before the other box.
What is this?
He places the parchment on top of the box and unrolls it. And before you is the map that you see in front of you in roll 20 here.
Well, this is certainly useful.
We're here. I don't know if you guys saw that ping on the map.
Yep.
So it's like right on number 3, Low Harbor.
Yep.
And he says, the bridge that we crossed before is here. Right? Number 2, Storm Bridge on the map. The city center, where all of the shops and things are, is here, Muskbank.
And
Well, I'd go there, find a store or stores that shops that sell these goods and procure them.
I have to admit, I'm a little torn. On one hand, I wouldn't do this normally. On the other hand, we are in hell, and I don't have much problem with stealing from hell.
I thought we'd see eye to eye on this. Trust me, there is no malevolent purpose here.
I don't believe you.
Oh, and you're probably right to not believe me. But you will get what you're looking for if you do.
The ends justify the means, indeed. At this point, I'm going to look at Valphalin and kind of see if I can. I'm going to kind of look at him and try to meet his eyes and see if I can find that that validation that what we're doing is not awful.
He shakes his head at you. I suppose in the meantime, we should find a way to come up with some currency.
Do we need the currency, or should we just do what he's asking?
Currency for the thing that he's asking for. Weeks and weeks worth of food. I doubt we'd be able to come up with, but perhaps through some other means we could perhaps arm ourselves or prepare ourselves for whatever may be on the horizon.
Are you suggesting we obtain currency to buy his food?
I'm suggesting that we're trapped here, and
Indeed.
I don't know how we will return. But perhaps this town center may have more answers. I think it would be wise to procure some of this realm's currency in order to purchase implements of destruction, supplies, perhaps even food.
Are you suggesting we steal currency to obtain, or how do you suggest we get this currency?
I've read of gamblers, mercenaries. Any of this work seems suitable.
I want to do the right thing, but we are in hell. I don't know.
If we are to do such an act, we should limit our exposure, if you catch my drift.
Yes.
Perhaps making away with just the food and rations that have been proposed is one thing, but procuring currency for other such supplies that we would need to get elsewhere shouldn't be as difficult.
Perhaps we should find some of these gamblers and charlatans.
The inn is usually a good spot to begin.
I agree.
What of you, Tess?
Tess isn't good at gambling, but Tess knows how to mend and can set up street booth to make money.
Yenfear? Cyrene? Anything?
Cyrene kind of shrugs. She can't really do much, but she can maybe try to help Tess.
Ian Fear says, I have my ways of making money.
I have an idea.
What's the idea?
What if we attempt to involve ourselves in this gambling, and Ian Fear throws his hand in as sort of, shall we say, tipping the scales in our favor.
Ooh, sleight of hand.
Some illusion might make us come out on top more often than not, if you catch my drift.
You know, I like the way you guys think, Syken says, flashing yet another one of those grins.
I'm going to look at him in another uncomfortable manner because I feel very uncomfortable even about cheating hell.
It is hell, you know.
Mm.
I think you lot should also consider the fact that you're going to look really out of place out there. I mean, the tiefling, she could pass. And one other thing. Wasn't there another tiefling with you?
Misku. Where is Misku?
Oh no, Misku.
Misku is wont to some debauchery. I worry a bit. Where is she?
She may be up to her own devices.
Oh dear.
I'm sure she can handle herself. Anyway, what is the plan?
Let us make our way to a tavern or inn and let's see how we can obtain some currency to start gambling. I think the biggest hurdle is going to be finding the initial funds.
And passing everyone off for being locals.
True. Should we limit it, maybe? Maybe a minor illusion with only a few of us could work better.
I will stay behind. Deception and sneaking has never been my strong suit.
Is there some sort of... I'm going to look at Syken now. Is there some sort of disguise I could put on that would make me blend a little less like, well, a wood elf? Are there wood elves ever in hell?
The occasional mortals do come through, but they're always accompanied by devils, taking them to enlist, of course.
What if Tess is our person who is taking us as slaves?
Could work.
Tess, Ian Fear, and I could try and infiltrate with perhaps Cyrene hiding within Tess's outfit.
Indeed. Tess, he says, what you could what you could tell onlookers is that you're making your way north from the south gate.
Making my way north from the south gate.
Yes, and you stop to rest before heading to the stronghold.
That could work.
Would a wolf? I'm gonna turn and look at Talos. Would a wolf be allowed in our midst?
Huh. Absolutely not.
I don't want to leave Talos by himself or with anyone else, and this is bothering me.
Perhaps Ahara could try to stay in the shadows while Infir and Tess try to do some swindling. Would be a lot of stealth rolls, though.
You could case the establishment while the others do their gambling.
Yes, if we could make it, I could provide guidance to allow the rolls in the gambling to be a little higher. Along with Ian Fear's illusion, I think we might make out on top. I worry that too many wins could make us targets.
And another problem. What of the Fae?
She is small. She could hide. She is out of place. This is the absolute antithesis of her domain.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think, Cyrene? How could you hide in, well, plain sight, so to speak?
Honestly, in plain sight, I have no idea. I could just try as much as possible to like stay in shadows and
Could pop you in a bottle and put you up for bet.
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, you could do that
Bet not
instead
a
of
lot
hiding.
of people have seen a fairy in hell, but that would put a little bit of risk on you.
Instead of hiding, you could sell her.
Yeah, go for that. Easier than trying to hide.
Are you sure this is safe?
No, not at all.
We are all armed. If a fight
But
breaks out, we will.
We do have to be concerned about how are we going to get others to gamble with us if we have nothing of interest to offer them.
I think a Fae will be of interest. I think that is our crux.
I agree. I think that's a good idea.
Psychon, what say you?
Fear.
I was talking to the tiefling. Yeah. How do you feel? Do you think people would bid on a Fae?
I didn't even realize his name was so close to Psycho.
Yeah, it's very much like Sauron. You're like, what is it?
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. I was saying, Psychon, what do you think? Do you think people will find a Fae an enticing bet that we might come to the table without currency?
Slaves are always an enticing bet. The more magic, probably the more provocative incentive.
I'm gonna look at Cyrene and say, when we put you in the bottle and put you on the table, you're going to need to do your best parlor tricks. You know, fairy fire, whatever. You know, just try and
Shiny.
excite them.
Cyrene nods her head and like gives a little salute.
I think we could pull this off.
Very well. I will remain here. Send word if you have need of me.
I'm gonna put my hand on Val's shoulder. I'm gonna say, if you were anyone else, I would want you with us. I'm sorry that you're so different.
It's something that I've lived with all my life. I am accustomed to it.
I'll give him a pat on the shoulder and try to assure him that, like, you know, I accept him for who he is.
Thank you. Now, good luck to you.
Be safe, friend.
Return soon. As he
So I guess we're gonna head that way to 4.
all right. You guys don disguises, things like that. And you mentioned you're taking Talus with you.
Yeah. So he and I are going to do our best because we both are pretty stealthy. We're both going to try and stay in the shadows and just always be on the alert if they need some kind of hand, but otherwise just stay back.
Okay, Tessa's fail safe that she wants here. One of the many vials and bottles that she carries with her, she's gonna poke holes in it, obviously, so Cyrene can breathe. But when she puts the lid on, she's not going to fasten it as tight as it can be. So Cyrene has a chance, if we have to hand the bottle over, Cyrene has a chance to possibly pop out of the top.
Okay.
And Fear typed in chat.
Yeah, Ian Fear's got something.
Do you have any sort of official documents, tickets, wanted posters, something?
Something for us to go on, I guess.
You're welcome to check the back room.
I'll take a look around.
Not much more than a bunch of junk back there, but I often find useful things. Found this map a few days back. Other than that, this place has been empty for a long time. I don't even know what kind of building it was. Huh.
Just wonders exactly how many wanted people are in hell anyway.
Oh, the devils have a lot of rules. If you break them, it's usually death
Death in hell.
Harsh.
or punishment, torture. You know, that sort of thing.
I'm gonna look at
Banishment.
I'm gonna look at Psycon and Tess, and I'm gonna say, just kind of just trying to get a gauge of who would benefit more from some kind of boon. Like, is it going to be Psycon who is trying to cast illusions, or is it going to be Tess who is trying to deceive? And I'm gonna try, I'm gonna ask them this and try and gauge who needs it more.
I just would imagine that Ian Fear would likely need the bonus. The extra help.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
gonna
it looks
nod.
like both of them sort of have the same kind of toolkits, though. Like they both have things like minor illusion at their command.
I don't think I have an illusion. No. Thaumaturgy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to meta, but basically I want to like figure out who I want to provide guidance to.
Yeah.
Yes, so if we're going that way, I want to provide guidance to Tess.
So
but-
Ianfear says,
yeah.
I have a great eye and a fair hand at making things, especially official documents.
You're looking to forge documents on someone?
So Ianfear, I'd like you to go ahead and roll a investigation check to check through the room in the back and see if you can dig up something valuable.
Damn, I should have put guidance on him.
Okay, so we've Cyrene, you do have guidance.
Yeah, so Cyrene, when you get to a place where you're gambling, just keep in mind that you have guidance to whatever needs to be done.
Well, it looks like it lasts up to 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it again. That's what I was.
Okay. Starting at 6th level, you have the ability to twist fate using your wild magic. Oh, okay, Ben Luck.
That was a really shitty roll.
What are you using Ben Luck on your roll for?
I think that's the investigation check.
And specifically, what kind of? Yeah, so you're looking for what? Official documents, tickets, wanted posters. Any official documents? Okay, yeah. Actually, digging through that back room, you find a wanted poster with a very familiar face on it.
Wonder he's so good at hiding.
Hey, VGpunx, I cut out. I don't know if it's my internet. Could you say that again?
Oh, he found a wanted poster with a very familiar face on it.
Oh, thank you.
I have 2 sapphires and an emerald I can use for currency gambling. Okay.
Okay, we can start those off as early prizes and then use Cyrene if we have to.
She insists that you use Cyrene.
To go big or go home.
Go big or go home. The wanted
Do it.
poster says for attempted assassination against Lord Conarl. Conarl?
Is he sharing this with us? Can I see it?
I think he would be in the other room.
Yeah.
Dude looks like this. His name
I'm
is
gonna look,
Syken Romazi.
sir. I'm gonna look at this poster that Ianfear brought in from the other room, and I'm gonna look at Syken, and I'm gonna squint and look at the poster as pointedly as I can.
Tess is gonna look at it and say, "Oh, he looks a lot like you. You have a twin?"
Where did you find that? You should get rid of that.
Is there something you should share with us?
Only that I spent a lot of time taking down every single one of those posters I could find.
This says Lord.
Destroy it. Now.
I'm gonna Can I see if I can take the poster and hide it? Like, I want to hide it inside. I want to hide it inside of Tessa's bag, but so that she knows it's there.
And it was at this moment that the DM had decided that he is very glad that Ahara did not originally roll a bard. Can I use minor illusion to make it look like I put it up in smoke? Yes, you can. And I guess Ahara is going to use that same motion to attempt to hide it in Tessa's bag.
Do we all make eye contact? Like, is Tess aware of what's gonna happen?
Roll a wisdom check.
Okay.
Ahara gives you sort of an affirmative nod, but you have no idea what the hell he's hinting at. It's over at Ian Fear, who does the thing. The paper seems to turn to smoke, and you suddenly feel someone reach into your bag. Tess.
Tess whips around real quick. Says, "What are you doing?"
I'm gonna try and cover and say, I was just checking to see if you had any rations in your bag that were worth trading for, and I'm gonna try and give her as hard of a wink as I can.
Ahara, roll a dexterity check really quick.
Right. I can never find. Okay, dexterity. There it is. Okay. Oh, that was a save.
Oh, wow.
Do you want me to roll again?
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll again.
Oh, 8.
So you barely tuck this thing into the bag, and as Tess flips around, the page is still like half hanging out, and Syken, his eyes just kind of like glaze over, and he shakes his head. He pulls the page out from the backpack and tears it into shreds.
I'm gonna look at Tessa. I'm gonna say, you know what? It's silly. We would never want you to share, and I'm gonna wink a lot at her, and I'm gonna say, we never want you to share that there is a lord among us, wink, 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 who is wanted, wink, 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 and kind of leave it at that.
And Tess kind of gives him a questioning stare and goes, "Uh-huh. Ahara, I never knew you were a lord."
I'm gonna turn to Ian Fear and wink a couple times.
Without failing winks.
You must have something in your eyes, all of you. Is it
hurts.
dusty?
There's something there. I don't know. It's the ash.
Syken is just okay. Well, good luck getting caught. In town.
Let's do this.
So,
Ian Fear's typing. I'm waiting to see what Ian Fear has to say.
I'll pull out an official-looking document for a second persona I've been lorded over a time or two. Whoa, kinky.
Gotcha, kabow wow.
Lorded squared. Lord Ian Pierce squared.
So it's Tessie and Fear, Ahara, and Cyrene are all making their way into town. Valphalin and Syken are going to stay behind.
Yep.
So you guys approach the bridge from once before, and once again, Ahara, you are faced with the challenge of getting yourself and your wolf across.
I'm gonna roll. Well, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself, and then I'm gonna try and stealthily try to get the two of us across.
All right, go ahead and roll your stealth.
Be right back.
Okay.
Stealth. So it's a 21.
Oh yeah. So you kind of keep your wolf right at your side, and you kind of keep him out of sort of out of the view of passersby. Well, out of the immediate view anyway. Hoping that maybe you can pass him off as some sort of a servant animal. Surely they have those in hell.
Hell is all about servitude.
You make your way across the bridge, and before you opens up a pretty standard looking town center, complete with all manner of businesses and things of that sort. There are various tiefling and devils who are had too much bourbon.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
Right, so you see, various tiefling and other devils, sort of walking through town. Ahara, you even catch sight of a tiefling, it seems, who is armed, and with him is a small devil dog, or
Interesting.
medium-sized devil dog.
Like a U.S. Marine.
What do they actually call them?
Tuffelhound?
I think it's
Hellhound?
a hellhound. Yeah, it is a hellhound. They actually do use hellhound. That's interesting. Yeah, that looks like.
Okay.
Well, you can look that up. Apparently, it doesn't let me show to players, but so yeah, he actually has like sort of semi-armored hellhound at his side. It occurs that you may actually be able to disguise Talos as such.
I'm going to try to do it. What do I need to do?
Well, you'd need some way to mimic that armor.
Is it possible that I could steal the armor and move it to Talos?
Sure, it's possible.
You can certainly try. Okay. What should I do?
Well, this person is just down the way. Very busy street. Not devoid of onlookers, but as you watch, they sort of move toward sort of an alleyway. Not into the alleyway, but they're very close to it. Possible you could sneak up on them, although there are various different points from which you could do so. There are buildings nearby. You could drop from the top. You could make your way through the alleys to get around them from the other side. Although getting the armor off the animal without the animal noticing and immediately flipping around on you, that's a different story. Might need to render them unconscious somehow, or maybe there's another way.
I want to see if I can move up to the rooftop and take out. Okay, I want to try and shoot to incapacitate the owner of the animal while simultaneously telling Talos, who is down below, to incapacitate the animal so that I can try and move in to steal it.
Hmm. And how will you do this without getting the attention of everyone else in the town square here?
Well, I think Talos and I have been together long enough that I think I can tell him to, like, sick and be quiet. And I think I can shoot an arrow because I have my bow again. I think I can shoot an arrow maybe straight through the neck and take the guy down, and maybe people right around will notice. But I mean, honestly, it's hell, so people are probably used to this kind of thing.
Okay. So you think that these kind of attacks happen pretty often then, probably.
Probably.
The guy looks like he might be a guard.
Oh, that makes it a little more complicated. What if I can make Talos kind of snap at the dog, kind of at the tail of the hellhound, so that the hellhound kind of veers away without the guard noticing, and then I can shoot at the hellhound and Talos can attack, and we can both try and take the armor.
Very well. Is anyone else going to involve themselves in this?
Please help me, but I'm nowhere near, so I can't actually officially ask you to help me.
Okay. Actually, with that in mind, I'd like you to go ahead and roll a. Well, no, you're already stealthed. So I'd like you to go ahead and for Tallow. Well, So you're going to come up behind them in the alley, right? And you're going to try to coax them to like follow Talus into a less populated area. Am I getting
Yeah.
that right?
So now Talos is going to kind of attack, but like nip at their haunches and make them attack, and now I'll shoot as soon as they pull away.
Okay. Actually, you don't really need to roll for that. For now, at least. So Talus does actually approach this animal, the hellhound, from the rear and snaps at its tail, growling. The guard flips around to look at Talos and
Shit.
mangy mutt, get out of here, shoo! And he like kicks at the at Talos. He misses. But Talos kind of continues to feign attacks at this hellhound, provoking him. The hellhound actually does give chase and chases Talos into deeper into the alley.
Yes.
The guard starts to follow behind them.
No.
Quite as fast.
Okay.
He calls out, "Hey, get back here!"
I'm going to shoot, and I'm going to try and shoot an arrow. And actually, hold on, I've got special arrows. I'm going to shoot an arrow of seeking. I've got one. I'm going to shoot an arrow of seeking straight at the hellhound.
Who are you going to shoot for the hellhound?
Yeah, I'm going to try and take the hellhound down, and I'm hoping we can like take him down before the guard gets there.
All right, this is an advantage because you're currently stealthed and you're on the high ground. So go ahead and roll it with advantage.
Hooyah. All right. Advantage. Submit. Let's see what we got. 24. Oh, wait. Hold on. 22. It doesn't. The extra +2 doesn't count because I had Hunter's Mark on. +2 because I didn't put Hunter's Mark. So 22.
That is a hit.
All right. Fingers crossed.
Let me grab this real quick.
21.
Oh, you don't make an attack roll for the attack.
What?
Hold on. Double checking. Okay, here we go. I see how this works now. Do need to drag one in, though. No, I can actually roll it here in chat. So it'll be... That is not a successful save. All right, and go ahead and roll 1d6 for... roll your damage plus 1d6.
Damage for what?
Your arrow.
Uh,
And you said this is meant to incapacitate, correct?
right.
Okay, so go ahead and roll.
Well,
roll your
okay.
roll your
But
arrow's damage plus 1d6.
okay, arrows damage. I see. Plus D6. Is that what you said?
Yeah, plus 1d6.
Shit.
Holy crap!
Wait. Hold on. That is not.
It vaporizes
Okay,
immediately.
wait.
You're what the? It not only
Okay, there it is. Okay.
it not only tears through the
I
roof, through the wolf, or through the hellhound, but it also rips through the fabric of reality itself.
All of hell is fucked. Yeah. Okay. So I rolled 1d8 plus 5, and that ended up being 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 1d6 is 2, so that's 10
10
total.
damage. Okay. 10 damage. All right. I'd also like you to go ahead and roll an attack with Talus.
All right. Talus is going to bite Om Nom Nom. He rolls a 23. And that ends up being 13 piercing.
All right. So Talus is able to actually drag the creature to the ground, and your arrow does disable it. It under all of that, it falls unconscious.
I'm going to try and, as quickly as I can, jump down from the rooftop and try and like unstrap and whatever the fuck it is, like get all the armor off so I can, like, I'm not even going to try to put it on Talus. I'm just going to try and take it all to put it on my inventory.
Probably going to have a, well, you're probably going to have a better time taking the actual animal.
Good point. I'm just going to pick him up, pick up Talos, and I'm going to try and climb the wall to try and get out of the sight in case the guard comes back.
You think you might be able to do that. You see various crates and implements such as that around. That it will take a feat of dexterity.
Parkour. Dexterity is strength.
Do you have a feat of parkour?
Parkour.
I wish.
Holy shit.
22.
All right. And I had set this in my mind as a DC 20, and you passed it. So exactly what you say has just happened. You actually do scoop up the animal on your way down. Talos follows you up the side and into obscurity. Obscurity? He's hidden. And as you make your way up the building, the supposed guard takes off around the corner. He looks around frantically, and not seeing anything, he starts to sort of scan the horizon and scan everything above him. And by this time, you've disappeared.
As I stroll off into the distance, I'm going to yell, "Parkour!"
Hardcore. Hardcore.
After getting to what you believe to be a safe distance away, you begin to unstrap this armor and affix it to Talos.
So what does that mean for Talos?
So Talos is now wearing armor.
He's got 16
So-
natural.
I was gonna say, how well fitting is that armor to someone like Talos? Like, are they really that comparable of body type?
Yeah, it works okay.
You look like a hellhound.
He looks close enough. Like
He's
Ahara, you're able to
He's
sort
a
of
heck
manage
hound.
stuff with some of the extra cloth that's on it, and sort of make it cover more some of the features that would make him identifiable as a just wolf. As well, since you've been here with all of the air and everything, his coat has gotten quite dirty and dingy, so he actually does sort of take the appearance of a hellhound.
perfect.
Not perfect, and if he is investigated at close range, you can see that anyone could see through it, but it would take an active investigation to figure that out.
I mean, I could do a
Thank
little bit of a minor illusion, maybe, to create the image of a hellhound around it.
You'd need to
No, save it for the gambling.
I mean, I could do that as many times as I want.
Yes, I mean you haven't even seen this part yet. You haven't even seen him
I'm
yet.
way far away from you. You can't see any. You don't see anything.
Yeah, I guess.
Not yet, anyway.
Oh, so you're John Cena. I got it.
So, Ian Fear and Tess and Cyrene, you all have Ahara hasn't been with you this entire time because he's kind of been taking to the shadows and everything. You guys sort of peruse around.
We just randomly heard him shout parkour, and now
You did
we're
hear
like,
him.
Ahara.
Everyone kind of looked around when they heard parkour being shouted.
For a moment, we were like, was that Ahara? It sounded a lot like Ahara.
So you guys start to sort of browse around town. There are various shops here, sort of at the edge of the town square, and right next to the river of lava. There is what appears to be a tavern.
Go check out that tavern.
Well, from the outside, you can see in through openings, supposed windows. Doesn't look like a very inviting place. There are some pretty crude-looking tables set out. There appears to be someone tending bar. Looks like a tiefling.
Tess bets that the drinks here are very good.
Do you guys enter, everyone?
Tess will.
I'm gonna enter, but I'm gonna try and be, the Strider in the corner that is hiding.
So you're actually not there as of yet.
Oh, fair enough.
You've kind of went a few buildings down. You have not seen them enter this place.
Do I know where they were going, or am I like lost in the rooftops?
Well, you know that they were probably looking for some kind of a venue, such as a tavern or an inn, or just anywhere that they could potentially gamble, since that was the original plan.
Okay. So in the future, I'll probably have to check a few taverns to find them, right?
Probably, maybe.
Okay.
Depends if there are a few taverns.
Yeah, fair. Okay. I will. So I'm not there. You guys go ahead.
Tess, as you enter the establishment, there are various people in here. They're all sitting down having drinks and food.
I notice anyone in the process of gambling in here or playing board games?
It does look like there's a table where a couple people are rolling dice. As you enter, the barkeep looks over at you. Ha! Drinks. What do you have?
Tess kind of shrugs and she says, stopping in on a break on my way north, was it? North? Okay. On my way north. Afraid I lost my purse along the way. I don't have any currency. Was hoping I could rustle some up with the boys here.
Likely.
No, it's true. I don't have any currency, but I do have a slave here. She points to Ian Fear. And he has some gems that might be of interest. Emotions to Ian Fear.
You let your slaves keep gems?
No, sir.
Makes them more
These
valuable.
are my lady's gems.
Oh, that kind of slave. So you guys look around, and there are, various individuals sitting around eating and drinking. But there is one table where they seem to be, gambling. They're rolling dice. You hear, the sounds of laughter. But that is all the time that we have for this session. We'll have to continue this next time, everyone. So I hope you all have enjoyed this session and this episode of New Dalancia. And be sure to tune in next week on the same channel here. Check my schedule for more information on that, but it is 5 to 7 p.m. Central Time, where we will continue this story. Hope to see you all there, and until then, this is VGpunx and friends, and we're signing off. Keep a song in your heart.